Have you ever opened an app for the first time? Like you just downloaded this app and you open it. You just knew what to do. You knew where to go. You knew how to operate it. You didn't have to research about it. You didn't have to ask Google. You didn't have to call for help. You just knew what to do. You just knew where to go. That's not luck. That's psychology, because there are other apps that you can download and open it, but you wouldn't know what to do, right? Now let's look at the things that could affect product usability. The first one is cognitive load. You may ask, what is cognitive load, right? Cognitive load simply means the amount of effort, mental effort actually, required to complete a task. And this could mean too many buttons, too many important buttons, confusing labels, too many texts, misalignment of the product and all that. Those could cause users frustration, wasted efforts and all that. That is cognitive load. You've given the brain too much to think about. A good example is Google's homepage. It has one clear task, just one. You already know what to do when you get to that page, right? The second one is familiarity. Yes, familiarity. So when you know how something works and you open a different app and it works similar, there is just this comforting feeling about it, like, hey, I don't have to do too much. A typical example, you can look at different social media applications and notice that their navigation is always at the bottom of the bar. Another example is Snapchat and TikTok. Notice how their toolbar is always at the side. That's the right side of the screen, right? And then you have those filter at the bottom. When you click on it, you see it, you can change it, you can download it and all that. That's another familiarity example. So if you want to look for the toolbar or the filters, you know where to go. That's familiarity. The third one is feedback. Now, feedback is when I click on the button, I want to get a response that says loading or done. That's feedback. So normally when we click on the button, we expect a feedback. Or when the internet is down, we want to know what's happening, right? Take for instance, when you open Facebook or Instagram or CapCut, and it's not fully, you can't see the information yet. You see a skeletal loader, you see that squares or rectangles that just come in and out. They are giving you feedback. That's a feedback. It's telling you to hold on. We're bringing up your information, right? That's feedback. When I click on a button and it says done or says loading, or gives me a different color to actually show that, oh, you've clicked this, right? Your brain is designed to expect that feedback. So when that doesn't work, when you don't get that feedback, you start thinking, oh, did I not get the target? Did I not click on it? Did this not work? Is something wrong? Your brain just starts processing it. Do I have to click on it again? Yeah, that's feedback, right? So feedback is necessary, very, very important for a seamless product. Feedback reduces uncertainty, and psychologically, uncertainty increases anxiety. The fourth one is visual hierarchy. Have you noticed that when you open an app for the first time, your eyes just roams everywhere? It's trying to scan before it can even use anything. That's how visual hierarchy works. So you want to be intentional when creating the visual hierarchy of your product. Now, visual hierarchy works with colors, text sizes, text colors, and alignment, right? So if you make everything look equal or everything look important, the cognitive load is going to be really high. And you remember, you're trying to minimize cognitive load. right? So visual hierarchy is important. Now, what's visual hierarchy? It is the ability for you to be able to create your content, the content on your app based on level of importance, right? Attaching their level of importance and creating a visual that helps the user to target what is most important first based on their goal. Remember, based on their goal, right? So if your visual hierarchy is not properly plotted, you're going to create confusion for your users, and you don't want that. The fifth one is fewer decisions. That means giving your user fewer options to choose from at a time. So there is something called decision fatigue. When you give someone too many options to choose from, they struggle. They'll feel tired, like it takes them more time, and it takes them more time to process it, right? In the case of products, now when you give your users too many options to choose from, let's take for instance a shopping platform, right? You're telling them about coupon code, you're telling them about checkouts. What is your most important option at that point is for your user to check out so your product can sell, right? But you're giving them an option to see promo code, to check out, to view more, to this, that, a lot of options, right? They'll get confused at that point and may end up abandoning it, especially if the cognitive load is high and everything is just cluttered. They're going to give up. And that's a bad design, right? So you want to prioritize what is most important at a time. The sixth one is consistency. Psychologically, predictability means safe. It makes users feel safe when they can predict the next move, the next action, the next outcome. It makes them feel safe, right? So when it comes to consistency, it is important that you stay consistent with your design. Take for instance your buttons. Your primary buttons should be the same across the design. Your secondary buttons should be the same across your design. Your font type should be the same across your design. Your primary color, your call to actions should be the same across your design. This helps you build trust with your users, because when they can predict what is happening next, when they can predict, don't surprise them. They don't want it. They just want to do what they want to do and get going, right? Please, no surprises. We don't do that here. So what actually makes a product easy to use? It is not just creativity. It is not just aesthetics. And it is not magic. It is when you minimize cognitive load, create familiar patterns, give clear feedback when the users are interacting with your product, guide their attention, use proper visual hierarchy, minimize decision making, and stay consistent. That is when your product can be easy to use, when you can retain your users, right? And having said that, that will be all of my video for today. See you on my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'll be right in the comment section to respond to them. Thank you. Bye.